Welcome back to Mets Nets Jets D podcast. Coming to you on a Friday, right before the huge weekend of week 2 NFL football. Guys, we're back at it. I'm going to give you a game by game breakdown of my favorite plays. I don't know how long it's going to run. Just deal with it if you want these picks. Um, I did do a video yesterday on the Thursday Night Showdown. It was very eh. Christian McCaffrey was a huge letdown for like the first time in his whole freaking career. Tampa Bay really controlled him, but I did like the Panthers D. They had a safety, they had a couple turnovers. That was okay, but the key was Godwin. That was my favorite guy. I named him in the video. I just didn't put him at captain. If you were able to do that, then you definitely 100% cashed because he was the highest scoring person. And if you just would have put in DJ Moore and McCaffrey, you'd have been fine. No, not McCaffrey, but DJ Moore and the kicker Sly, you'd have been fine. So sometimes you got to look at weather. It was a kind of a factor. Very sloppy game, but that was more on Cam Newton and the line. Um, he was either getting hurried and hit, or he was just off target. Don't panic. It's week 2. Obviously, he's just coming back from this shoulder injury. It's only week 2. Like a quarter of the season haven't even passed yet, and everyone's just like jumping ship. Oh my god! Don't worry. Don't worry. They face the Cardinals next. That's a prime opportunity for that offense to get back on track, and they're gonna bounce back. Don't worry about the Panthers. Okay, that defense kept them in the game, um, and they just needed Cam Newton to finish. He was getting across the 50, but once he crossed the 50, that was it. He couldn't finish. So that's okay. They lost. We're gonna bounce back. The focus is on Sunday. We're getting into this freaking Sunday slate, 13 games. We're gonna start with the Niners and Bengals because I have that first on my list. All right. So in this game, Niners had a great showing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's how you're supposed to take care of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right. I don't know what the Panthers doing. I'm sorry, but in this game, I'm not looking for a huge game stack. Not at all. I really, really like George Kittle. He had a huge target share connecting with Jimmy Garoppolo. Cincinnati had a great showing in Seattle. It was pretty surprising. I did not expect that at all. But if you look at the Seattle's defense, they are lacking, and they have youth all over that secondary, and they don't have that Legion of Boom veterans anymore. Okay, so I like San Francisco. I'm kind of one-sided on this game. Give me Kittle and give me Matt Breida. So Kittle right here. If you can do a stack if you want to, but I don't see him getting that many points. Matt Breida, huge boom to him, 5,200. We have Tevin Coleman, who's going to be out a couple weeks with a high ankle sprain. This is a great value running back right here, and to pair him with Kittle, if you want to throw Garoppolo in there, that's a stack that you might like. All right. If you want to bring it back in this game with Cincinnati, I know John Ross had a huge game. um, that's like his first huge game ever after being a freaking top 10 pick, and them skipping on Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes for him. He had a game. He had a game. So if you want to bring it back, I'm more on the side of Tyler Boyd, bringing that back with him because I think the weakness on the 49ers defense is the slot corner. Okay. So that's pretty much who I like in that game. Let's move on to some chalkier things like the not the game, the Arizona Cardinals and the Baltimore Ravens. I'm gonna clear this out for you guys. We're going over here in Baltimore. I understand the hype. Everyone wants to stack this game. Everyone still believes that all right, the air raid obviously kind of worked out. But this is a whole different story. I'm not being optimistic in this game. They're in Baltimore. You don't just a rookie quarterback doesn't just hop in Baltimore and like sets the world on fire. That doesn't happen. I like Lamar Jackson in this game. I like Mark Ingram. I don't know if he's that hurt. It's probably just like limited in practice. See, he was a full participant Thursday. He's going to be fine. Um, Mark Andrews had a huge target share, like 80%. I understand that, but I know people want to hit Marquise Brown. He's hit or miss. If you want a deep guy, you choose him. If you want someone more reliable, that's Willie Snead. See, that's the thing that's tricky about this Baltimore team because you really can't pinpoint who it's gonna be. But you're pretty safe if you just choose Lamar Jackson, get that running upside, and then you pick and choose who you feel like is gonna go off because this is not gonna be a 59-0. This is Arizona Cardinals are better than the Dolphins, clearly, so it's not gonna be a huge blowout, okay? But I do trust Lamar Jackson. I do trust Mark Ingram. And if you wanted to choose a pass catcher that's more reliable, I would go with Willie Snead. Now, if you wanted to bring it back in this stack, um, Larry Fitzgerald against Brandon Carr is a decent matchup. I think I had it over here. Let me go up to Baltimore Ravens. Let it load a little bit. Yeah. Um, if I'm bringing it back, the huge injury news would be right over here. If you look at my local, Jimmy Smith, he might not play. You got to see if he practices. That'll be a huge loss for them. But this defense is still stout. Um, so I would lean either Fitzgerald against Brandon Carr or Christian Kirk, who had a ton of targets, 10, but just didn't really take advantage of them. Okay, but I'm not. I might have a little bit of this stack, but I'll be very one sided because I think Baltimore handles Arizona and Cliff Kingsbury, a rookie coach. Okay, they're in Baltimore. It's a totally different story. All right, guys, this is not the Detroit Lions. So we're gonna move on to the next game. The Detroit Lions against the LA Chargers. This is I'm gonna have a lot of one-offs on this. Um, I really like Keenan Allen, and I really, really like who was the second guy I really like? It was two people. Keenan, oh, and Austin Eckler. I forgot about Eckler. That was crazy. So let me get those guys out. Eckler. So we have huge amount of injuries. Hunter Henry, a freaking death blow to my fantasy football team. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. This is going to make this team lean on Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen a lot more right now. I understand they had Travis Benjamin. Um, I see a huge game by Keenan Allen at 7,600. Yeah, freaking 29 DK points week one. He might go up in targets. All right, don't be afraid. Get this guy. Everyone's going to be stacking all these other games. People are going to forget about the Chargers versus Detroit Lions. I understand the Lions run at a slower pace, but when the Chargers do get the ball, they're going to force feed Eckler and Keenan Allen. I see the Chargers winning this game very easily. Um, I don't want to bring. I don't like. I don't want to really bring it back with anyone. This is not a stat game. On the Detroit side, you could play Hawkinson. Um, he's a huge target for that, and that's one of the weaknesses for the Chargers since forever. They always have problems guarding the tight end. So I do like him on the comeback. So I have confidence in Eckler, Keenan Allen, and TJ Hawkinson, who was supposedly the next Gronk, and Matt Patricia coming from the Bill Belichick tree. He went out and got a Gronk like tight end, and he's trying to mold. He's really trying to copy the Patriots right now. All right. So that is my picks for that game. Let's move on to Minnesota and Green Bay. This is a sneaky shootout to me. I feel it. I don't know. I'm guessing. But if you just go back in game logs, I've looked back in the past few meetings between these two teams, And Stephon Diggs and Thielen have torched the Green Bay Packers. Um, I do believe that the Packers improved on the defensive side. Devontae Adams is a lock play. It doesn't matter what corner is going against this man. He is an elite wide receiver, just like DeAndre Hopkins. Um, it doesn't matter. The matchup doesn't matter. They're going to prevail. Um, I might go with Aaron Rodgers in this. I think they get a little groove in Green Bay against the Minnesota Vikings. I understand what they did in Minnesota, but this is a different animal, and we have two flamethrowing quarterbacks, but Minnesota has changed their offensive philosophy. But if the Green Bay Packers force their hand, and you got Devontae Adams and you got Aaron Jones, who has ran on this team last year, he had 17 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Now you put the Minnesota Vikings in a predicament where they have to throw the ball as well. Now, if you want to pair more players in this, I love Aaron Rodgers. I love Devontae Adams. And someone who I picked in almost a lot of my leagues in fantasy, I thought who was going to have a huge year is Jimmy Graham. He proved in week one, 12 DK points, got a touchdown. Um, he was second in red zone targets last year for this team. He just wasn't able to catch the ball, so he's going to be a huge red zone target this year. So guys, let's put one and one together, okay? Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Jimmy Graham, Devontae Adams, and if you had like a little dart play, I like Geronimo Allison against who's their corner. Let me go to Green Bay right here. This is Fantasy Labs NFL matchup. You don't have to have a subscription for this. I like him. I like Allison against Curse. Okay. So this is my stack here. If you want to, you got to bring it back. You don't have to have all this. I would break it down. I would take him out. I would take Allison out. You can even take Aaron Jones out. Keep the two pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Devontae Adams. And then definitely throw Thielen, and you can throw Diggs in there. They have a huge history of having monster games against this team. Okay, so those are my plays for that game. We're gonna move on to Jacksonville and Houston. Jacksonville and Houston. In Houston, this game I might. If you're betting, Jacksonville's not a bad bet. It's not a bad bet. I'm just thinking about that front seven. Um, we're gonna have Ramsey and Hopkins one on one. I definitely like the advantage that Will Fuller will have against the Jacksonville defense against Boye because he can torch him. Fuller's a monster. He just can't stay healthy. But that front seven against Houston line, which is very, very bad and very shoddy, I think can wreak havoc and cause problems for the Houston Texans. If you wanted a shot in the dark um, betting play, money line the Jacksonville Jaguars if you want to. But what I wanted to get little sleepery with 4,800 Minshew. This man was chucking the ball against Kansas City Chiefs. Granted, it was a Kansas City Chiefs and their shoddy defense, but Houston's defense is not that great as well. So if you wanted to have a cheap guy with upside, especially if you think Houston's going to blow him out, what do you think Minshew's going to do? He's going to chuck that ball, and I think what I saw from Kamara and Latavius Murray, those huge holes that Houston let up. I think Fournette can have a bounce back game after he was chalk last week, let people down with 12.4. I think Fournette can bounce back in this game. Minshew, his top target was D.D. Westbrook. Um, if you look at the targets, it was D.D. Westbrook and then Chris Conley. Chris Conley is going to be going up against which corner was that? I had it. Let me go to Jacksonville Jaguars. There was a corner. Yeah, Roby. Oh man. In his last year in Denver, he was getting torched last year. Robbie Anderson even torched him last year. Yeah, give me Chris Conley. All right. DJ Shark is the deep guy. If you want the two intermediate dudes, you got Westbrook in the slot, and then you can bring that back also with Chris Conley. And then I would pair this with Will Fuller. I don't trust that Houston running game. Carlos Hyde is not good, and I have more trust in the Jacksonville Jaguars defense to stop their run game. Okay, Will Fuller and Kiki Kuti's back, guys. That's a sleeper right there. Kiki Kuti at 3,800, dirt cheap. I know everyone's gonna be like on Kenny Stills, but this is the slot guy. Kiki Kuti goes back in his starting position, and number one, if you guys paid attention, DeAndre Carter was the slot guy in week one, not Kenny Stills. He was a fourth wide receiver, an outside guy. Okay, that's who I feel. This is a sleeper stack I might use a little bit. I like the Minshew connection with Westbrook and Conley and bringing that back with Will Fuller. Um, that's who I'm feeling in that game. Let's move on to this. Oh my God. The New England Patriots. Hold on. We have the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to clear that out. This game is a full one-sided stack. I'm not bringing it back with not one Miami guy. If you want to get, I don't know. Don't get cute. I think this is going to be a freaking mopping. Tom Brady. This is what's going to happen. Tom Brady's going to score like 3-4 touchdowns in the first half. Um, and then they just gonna run the ball. So one of my favorite plays this week is going to be Sony Michel. Huge letdown week one. They were using James White. They were using Rex Burkhead. But I think when they're up big, like when how they used to use I forgot who they used, but when they get up big, they pound the rock with the running back. And I think Sony Michel in the third, fourth quarter is going to be bringing in the points. They're gonna get down. They're gonna hand to Michelle, and it's gonna be a murder's row. But I do believe they go up big. Tom Brady has value. Now this is a guessing game because supposedly Antonio Brown's supposed to play, so you don't know who's he's gonna throw to. So this is a very volatile stack. If you're gonna choose this stack, you don't know if it's gonna be Antonio Brown. You don't know if it's gonna be Edelman. You don't know if it's gonna be Josh Gordon, and you're not sure if they're gonna score even enough points for you to even roster them. This is a risk you're going to have to take because this is DFS and you're taking a shot in the dark anyway because you're trying to guess what's going to happen in the game. So I like Tom Brady to go up, get his 3-4 touchdowns, and then relay it off to Sony Michel, getting late into the game touchdowns. If I wanted to choose someone, I like Antonio Brown because he's newly acquired, and they might want to just like say fuck you to the NFL and like here's like 3 touchdowns for Antonio Brown, and look how good we're going to be. That can happen. Edelman's a safety valve, and Josh Gordon is just an intermediate beast. He's going to be running across the middle, just stiff arming safeties and small linebackers. It's going to be ridiculous. All right. So that's my thoughts on that game. We're going to move on to the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. This is a very popular stack that I've been listening to lately. A lot of people love Josh Allen just going off of what Dak Prescott did versus this team versus the New York Giants. I like Josh Allen. I like also Devin Singletary if you're going to go with this stack, a running back cheap guy. I think he's going to get more of the workload. Frank Gore is just he's a very good pass blocker, um, a solid veteran, but Singletary clearly has the burst and has the ability to if they want to win games, they use Devin Singletary. All right, stop with the Frank Gore shit. It's getting on my nerve. Um, huge PPR guy if you're going to use him in DK. Uh, Cole Beasley had like 6 catches. He was easily the one of Josh Allen's favorite targets. And then I think, and I know, not I think, I know Josh Brown can get open against this porous in New York Giants pass D. Okay, Now you want to. I'm very confident in bringing him back with Evan Ingram because the New York Giants have a ton of injuries. They have no other options. They only have two players, so you can feel comfortable starting Saquon Barkley and or Evan Ingram at 5,200 because they're just going to be targeted in like another level. That's all they have. That's all they have. It's pretty bad. They might be throwing a Russell Shepard this week, and that's not cool. That's my mindset on this game. Let's move on. One of my favorite stacks is this Pittsburgh Seattle game. I think this game is gonna go way over. Pittsburgh back at home. I think they bounce back after getting embarrassed in New England. Give me Ben Roethlisberger at 5,800. That what? He's 5,800. He might be my favorite quarterback play. Um, he's a huge home road splits guy. We saw last week only 10 DK points against the New England Patriots, who everyone struggles against the Patriots. Okay, this is not nothing new. Pittsburgh always struggles against the Patriots. Um, Connor, I think Seattle has a good enough run D, but Connor does get pass catching work. But I'm really liking this pair with Roethlisberger, Juju Smith-Schuster, and I like Dante Moncrief. He was targeted on at a huge clip, just couldn't catch the ball. I have faith in him. If you want to choose a wide receiver too, I like Moncrief over James Washington. And then if you want to go even heavier, I think Vance McDonald bounces back in this game. So if you don't care for Moncrief, you take him out. But I like the fact that Moncrief is going to be facing Trey Flowers. But you can mix it up this way and have your three way with Vance McDonald. But remember, stacks win this. Okay, so we got to bring him back with somebody. I think I don't like the Pittsburgh secondary that much. Um, they got to prove it to me. But I like Tyler Lockett in this game, and the usage that Chris Carson had was ridiculous. This man's getting 6, 7 catches. You telling me what? Yeah, throw him in there. I like this whole game on both sides. Lockett, Juju, Moncrief. One of my favorite players is Juju. Carson with his usage. This game is jam packed. Um, that's how I feel about that. That's one of my favorite game stacks. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers in the Seattle Seahawks. Next game, we have the Indianapolis Colts against the Tennessee Titans. They're in Tennessee. Chris, you get a clap. Thank you for beating the Browns. All right. Thank you, Mariota, for showing up so far. Week one winning the bet, but hopefully I win second week as well. This game, I'm more. This game's a little tough. I definitely like Derrick Henry against Indianapolis Colts. Um, what I saw what Eckler did against this team, I think Derrick Henry is a bruiser and can do just the same. If they work him in, get him acclimated. Um, then you have T.Y. Hilton, 2 touchdowns, huge target monster. They lost Devin Funches. So if you want a cheap guy, you can go with Paris Campbell, but you don't know how that's going to work out. That's either a hit or miss play. I trust the fact that T.Y. Hilton's going to um, get his targets and has a huge opportunity to score. He has a great history against this team, putting up huge numbers. So I wouldn't be surprised if T.Y. Hilton goes off again. Um, but then if you want to bring it back in this game, I really, really like Delaney Walker coming back. They'd even boost his price up. 3,500. This is Mariota's favorite target. I think as long as this man stays healthy, then Mariota becomes a huge X factor and he gets in the groove and then you got a problem. Because this he loves Delaney Walker. I think this is a huge. If he stays healthy, then they could be very successful. Might be 10-6 for the first time in like 4 years instead of being 9-7 every freaking year. So I like that. Marlon Mack. This line is pretty stout. The Indianapolis Colts were running up and down on the Chargers. Marlon Mack, 174 yards. They're gonna feed this man. This is I don't know who I like better, Henry or Mac, but these they're both good options in this game. I think so. They're both good options. But the pass catchers, I'm feeling Delaney Walker. If you want to throw AJ Brown in there, for Davis, you got to prove it to me. I got to see it first. Um, and that's all I like on Tennessee, really much. That ain't that much on there. So that's what I'm rolling with in that game. I like Henry. T.Y. Hilton's a good play. Delaney Walker is a top play at tight end, and Marlon Mack is a good running back if you want to throw him in there. Okay. Next game, we're going to go to Dallas versus Washington. I respect that Washington put up a little bit of fight against the Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas is a different. This is in division, so I don't know what's up their sleeve. But the fact that the Eagles don't really have a secondary, but Dallas does. Um, Give me Dallas in this game. Dak Prescott. Do I want to pair? I'll pair him with. I like Gallup in this game because Josh Norman could be on Cooper. I understand Norman struggled with Deshaun Jackson, but that's like elite speed. Cooper doesn't have Deshaun Jackson speed. I like Gallup going against Breland in this matchup. But one of my favorite play on this team is going to be Ezekiel Elliott. Um, they're going to feed him. He's back. He's 8,700. This man's supposed to be almost 10K. You can get him at a premium price. Um, I think Ezekiel Elliott eats on great. He had 13 points. He's going to go get back to his 20 plus carries. He's already prepared to get more touches. He's going to get work in the receiving game. Go back to Ezekiel Elliott. He's a huge get in this game. And I don't really care for anyone bringing it back for Washington. Uh, Adrian Peterson started, so if they're down big, you can go with Chris Thompson. That's pretty much it. 3,900. He's a good cheap play. Okay. Now, one of the biggest stacks that I'm gonna have. So far, my favorite stack is that Pittsburgh Seahawks game, and another favorite stack is gonna be this Oakland KC game. Give me, if you want to go cheap, you can do this two ways. You could go Patrick Mahomes, who I love. Obviously, it's Patrick Mahomes. With Tyreek Hill out, give me Travis Kelce. I might lock this man in every single lineup. He's going to go crazy. He should be in every lineup. He should be 7,300. I'm sorry, you gotta pay it. He's gonna go crazy. Um, Sammy Watkins, I think, is going to be going up against their whole secondary is ass on Oakland. They lost their rookie safety John Abraham. He's on IR. Gary Conley is horrible, and that's going to be the guy that Mecole Hardman is going to be going up against. Give me this full stack, man. Give me Mahomes. Give me Hardman. Give me Watkins. Give me Kelsey, and Damian Williams. Like they might score. They might score 40, man. They really do. I like this whole team. And then you can bring it. It's so juicy. You can bring it back because there's people that Oakland have, and Derek Carr is kind of competent, and he looked very sharp. They looked ready. They was like, "F you, Antonio Brown. We're gonna go out here and win without you." Bring it back with Tyrell Williams. Josh Jacobs was getting pass catching work. If you want to choose him, but the guy that's dirt cheap, 3,300, getting huge targets. Darren Waller. This is the stack right here. This can win you $1,000,000. You got Mahomes, you got Damian Williams that's going to be scoring points. Mecole Hardman against Gary and Conley is a mismatch. Sammy Watkins is another mismatch. You bring it back because Oakland's going to be coming back. They got to score points. Tyrell Williams is the deep threat because Casey has no defense. Travis Kelce is a monster, and Darren Waller is another mismatch. Okay, get everyone in this game. That's two of my favorite stats. Okay, we got KC, Oakland favorite, Seattle, Pittsburgh favorite so far. Did I forget a game? No, I thought that Minnesota, Green Bay could be sneaky. Um, that was pretty much it. So far, two huge game stacks that I really, really love. We're almost done, guys. Two more games left. We're gonna clear this out. We're going to go to Denver Bronco The Mile High. Okay, this is an upset for me. If you're betting, put your money on Denver against the Chicago Bears. Okay, Mitchell Trubisky, you suck. Matt Nagy, your cute little dumb shit sucks. I'm sick of it. You're going to Mile High. Okay, and to be in September. You're not ready for this. You're not going to be ready. Denver had a freaking poor outing. This is a premium time to get, like, I think it's plus money. I got to check. But get some plus money, put it on Denver against Chicago at home. I got a stat for you, all right? The last is like 60 something games, but this is the record, okay? In September in Denver, the Broncos are 48 9 and 2. That is something I'm not going to go against. Give me Denver. Chicago's going to go 0-2. Trubisky is ass. You got Bradley Chubb. You got Von Miller on the edges. They're going to come at Trubisky. And none of that cute shit is going to work anymore, all right? They're going to shut that down. Give me Denver and give me the points. So if I'm even, like, choosing, I'm not picking Flacco. Stop. Don't like Dave Montgomery. Lindsey, since I like the defense, give me Royce Freeman. Um, since they're gonna be in control, they might use him more. Royce Freeman at 37. They dropped his price. Wow, I think that's a good cheap running back that is gonna get a lot of touches. He's gonna get more than 10. He should get like 15 this week. Give me Freeman, and if you want a wide receiver, I think he's gonna be huge. Emmanuel Sanders, if you want a weak spot to attack that Chicago's Bears defense, okay? And then obviously I like this is one of the defenses I like. Give me the Broncos defense 2,700. It's cheap. Watch, I'm telling you guys, this is the defense of the week, Broncos. Okay, give me that. And now we're gonna move on because I don't care about the Chicago Bears. Last but not least, we have one of my second. No. He might be my first favorite because it's between Elliott and then Alvin Kamara, baby. You saw what Christian McCaffrey did against the Rams. What in your mind doesn't think that Alvin Kamara can do the same? We know that Drew Brees struggles on the road, and they're going to be leaning on Alvin Kamara. They're going to throw short passes to Michael Thomas, and then obviously you're going to see stupid Taysom Hill coming in the game, do some cute shit like they usually do. But I love Alvin Kamara. I like Michael Thomas. Not love. I like. I'm not even gonna. I don't think I'm even gonna play him. I don't know. This is gonna be an ugly game. This is gonna be ugly. This is gonna be an ugly game because I like. I kind of like the Saints D against the Rams because I don't believe in Jared Goff. I really don't. I don't think he's talented. That he's just a system quarterback, and he got exposed at the end of last year. Um, if I'm bringing it back, obviously I like Kamara. We got Todd Gurley. Um, they was giving up some runs, the New Orleans Saints. Todd Gurley, if he gets going, he's cheap right now, 7K. And then one of the guys, I don't want to go against Lattimore. I understand he struggled, but that's freaking DeAndre Hopkins. Brandon Cooks is not DeAndre Hopkins. Give me Robert Woods um, against Eli Apple. I think that's a good matchup to take advantage. Kamara, Gurley, Woods, and I think Jared Cook is going to have a nice game in against the Rams. All right. So those are my stacks and my plays that I have this week. I gave you a few betting options. I said I like Denver in an upset. If you want to get really freaky, take Jacksonville against Houston. But that's all I have for this week. I appreciate you guys for listening. Please follow me on Twitter at MessNetsJetsD. Don't forget the top right corner, rundfs.com. Get yourself connected with a group of guys that really know what they're doing. I'm in that Discord chat. Um, Discord chat, the freaking app to just to text, to talk to people. And for football, basketball is coming up, NHL is coming up. They got freaking. They do everything, man. Golf, it doesn't matter. College football. Get connected. Go to Run DFS. Sign up. Get into that Discord chat, and like grow your mind in all the sports. Okay. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my video. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys next week. Peace out. Good luck.